Well, hello everybody and brightest blessings. Lady Leeanna back with you for this happy Ostara day. Yes, where I'm at right now, it is the day of Ostara. And I'm sorry, I'm not setting up an altar for the camera today, although I may for myself tonight. I'm not really sure. There's been so much going on. And so it could be an impossibility for today for me to do that. But you can rest assured that I will go outside and under the moon say my prayers and chants, just so that I could show the love to my God and Goddess. Anyway, recently I did a short series of 3 videos regarding the God and Goddess and what they are. And it talked a lot about energy. And so today I thought it would be a really good idea for me to talk to you about how to tap into that energy. And there's been a few videos I passed through the day that was talking about the cone of power, and so forth. And another friend of mine, a subscriber on the channel named Jay, actually asked me a question the other day that got me really started on the whole idea of the fact that I never on the channel have mentioned anything about how to raise power or direct it or anything of that nature. And he and I were talking about, how I raise walls around whenever I draw my circles and I consecrate my fortress. Then I raise lighted walls that go clear up all the way to the God system. And this is my way of working. And I didn't think to explain to him, why I do that. But it's no more different really than raising the cone of power. You see, the cone of power, you could look at it as though it were an upside down tornado, spiraling around and around with the point that finally reaches up to the highest place. And that's the power that you are creating as you're dancing around with your coven or your friends in the circle. And that's what your cone of power is that you're raising. You're raising it through dancing and movement and chanting while you're dancing around. But it's easier when you're a solitary practitioner to do drumming, to do singing, to do chanting, and some dancing, but you're only one person. So the power, although it's very strong, it could be stronger. And so basically, when you are practicing solitarily, it is easier for you to raise lighted walls that would entrap the magic that you're raising and the energy that you're increasing until you're ready to drop those walls and let it fly off to the place that it's intended for it to go to its directive. So whenever I'm practicing solitarily, I'll do my altar, I'll dance around, I'll sing, I'll chant, I'll use rattles or drums. These are all ways, bells. These are all ways of increasing energies. And the lighted walls that I erect around my circle, using my athame in one hand, pointed at the lines in the perimeter of my circle, while holding my wand high in the air, or my finger, if I don't have my wand handy, drawing down the power from above, and in my mind's eye, bringing the light through myself and down my arm and into the circle's perimeter. And then at the end, then the lighted walls come up, and it prevents anything dark, negative, or evil from coming in, which really the consecration and the smudging does that. But this is really more for holding the energy that you're increasing and not letting it go so that it could build up. And when you're ready for it all to go at once to its directive, then dropping the lighted walls with a prayer and your hands down, watching the lighted walls just kind of crumble like beads. That's the way I do it. On command, the walls fall, and the energies that I've increased throughout this entire ritual, the energy that I've increased and raised, goes to its directed place. Be it that it's for somebody else, or to go into a certain place that I want it to be. And I focus on that place or that person that the energy is supposed to go to. See, so not really much different from raising the cone of power. Raising the cone of power, you can look at it as though it were a witch's hat, where the base of the hat is like the base of your circle. And then the point of the hat is its highest place. The point at which the energy is touching or being touched. And it funnels down over you within the circle, whoever's there. Or imagine it as a tornadic wind, but in the upside down position. A lot of people say that you should go widdershins to create this energy while dancing around in the circle. And a lot of people say that you should go deersil. But to me it really depends on the matter, whether you're wanting something to decline or something to increase. It depends on the low mode of the moon or the high mode of the moon, whether it's waxing or waning. You know, that's what I look at in creating the cone of power. If I'm going to use the cone of power, which by the way, I would only use the creation of the cone of power if there's more than just me in the circle. And typically I would like to do it rather if there's at least 3 people. If there's only me, or perhaps me and one other person, I like to create the walls of light. And I like to bring up the power in that circle that does not release until I drop the walls and let it go. The same as whenever I'm doing the cone of power. Whenever I'm through, or me and whoever's working with me are through raising the cone of power, will all fall down. And this is our indication that we're done. Or we'll all throw our hands down and say, let it go. Or some other key word that instructs the energy to fastly move toward its goal. And that is tapping into the power. You know, some people will even put what would be the equivalent of a lightning rod in the very center and just build their fire pit around it. It's a big pole sticking straight up in the air, and they feel that they're drawing power down from above, you know, in through that rod. I mean, and then all through the ground that would be surrounding it likewise, and then in through their bodies or whatever. There are so many different ways that you could tap into this power. Sound is one of them, and whenever I cast up my light walls, then I'll use sound and chanting and singing, and I'll actually begin to hear all the spirits singing with me, and it's so beautiful, you know, whenever it starts coming through, and I'll know that they're there, and this will empower me so much that I don't need all the other people or the cone of power, you know, to do what it is that I need to do. And whenever I drop the walls, then I let it go to its destined place. Or perhaps there is no place outside the circle that it's destined to go. Maybe it's something I'm creating right inside that circle, a talisman or a charm or something of that matter that I would want all the energy to go into. And from my mind's eye, I would see it all from around me condensed down and into that one place until that bag or that charm or whatever it is beginning to glow like a bright and shiny star. And then I'll know, once that is done, that I have finished my task. And from there it's a matter of dropping the circle walls and telling the Lord and Lady, thank you for being there, and giving great praises, songs, celebrations, things of that matter, taking libation, giving libation.